Hey everyone, I'm Ryan.
And I'm Steve, and this is 60 Cycle Hum, your guitar buying, selling, trading, modding, breaking, reviewing, playing podcast.
I think you missed one.
Buying, selling, trading, fixing, modding, breaking, reviewing, playing, yeah.
So anyways, Adweek, we're doing Adweek.
Doing an Adweek.
Oh, it's Adweek again. We're going to do a little episode every day all week. Happy Thanksgiving. How was your Thanksgiving, Steve?
Hopefully it was really good, but
don't break the mystery of the way the show works. We definitely recorded this after Thanksgiving, Steve. We were all full up of turkey and cranberry sauce.
My Thanksgiving was fan-frickin-tastic, man.
Mashed potatoes.
You ever deep fry a turkey?
I've never deep fried a turkey.
You gotta cook it for a while first.
Is that what
right?
you did, Steve?
And you deep fry. I don't know. I don't know if that's how it works, but man.
I don't want to. I think turkey's just fine cooking it traditional.
How do you feel about turkey legs? Why do they have so many bones?
They're not bones. They're like tendons.
Dude, they're bone-like.
They're very tough. They're not like regular tendons where you can just gobble them on up. You got to work your way around them. I like a turkey leg at the fair that's smoked and like barbecue style. I don't like a Thanksgiving style turkey leg. Honestly, I think we could start taking the legs and the wings off of Thanksgiving turkeys and saving them for barbecues and other purposes. I just focus on those thighs and those breasts.
I like dark meat, but I don't know. I think I'm more a fan of a good Thanksgiving ham.
You like ham on Thanksgiving?
Turkey just seems like such a temperamental food. You know what I'm in favor of?
Ham.
A good Thanksgiving prime rib.
Ooh, like a prime rib roast would be great. I've thought for a long time I'd prefer to have trout for Thanksgiving. Have some nice trout.
Interesting. I could go for that. You know, I say that I'm like, so I'm thinking through this. I'm like, well, turkey's like such a garbage meat. Like we put it on our sandwiches, right?
It's a good sandwich meat.
But then I'm like, oh wait, but what about roast beef? Like I'm like, oh yeah, that's why we should have prime rib because it's better.
Right.
But that's just roast beef. Like
we usually do a Friendsgiving. I think next year we should do a Friendsgiving with a different meet.
I'm super game for that.
Maybe a turkey and something else.
You might have to fight some traditionalists on that.
Yeah, I'll fight those traditionalists. Roll my sleeves up and hit them right in the nose.
How did you smoke? Did you smoke the turkey this year?
No, I didn't.
You just ovened it.
I
don't know. Because I was just say like
this has turned into Thanksgiving talk instead of being Adweek.
Well, I was just saying it'd be a lot of work, but like you can get like a try from Costco.
A tri-tip?
Yeah. If you have two meats, like people don't have to have. You don't have to have as much of. You can have smaller portions of each meat.
Or I could get a bunch of trout.
Dude,
do my trout's giving.
All right, this first ad, the only ad today is from Eric Burleson. It's a Johnson Gumby Pokey Betty Boop 1986 green, orange, and multi.
This is on Reverb, $15,000 for the trio.
Grief.
I love how
these were built for Earl Slick. Who the hell is Earl Slick?
Isn't he the guy behind Slick Guitars?
I hope not. Around 1985, by Johnson Guitars, he brought them into my store about 1987 for sale. I could not resist. Not sure how many that were made, but I imagine not more than one or two.
I hope not.
Never seen another set. They are fully playable and sounds and plays great.
I love how off-model they all are. I mean, clearly...
Oh, Earl Slick is the guy behind Slick Guitars.
That's what I said. Clearly, one's Betty Boop, one's Gumby, and one's Pokey. But the Betty Boop one, you only kind of get the idea that it's Betty Boop. Like, the details are so off. The art is so off. Her body is... I mean, Betty Boop is already a very sexual character, and they've gone further into sexualization with this body in like a different art style than Betty Boop.
I think that's the bigger problem, is that it's lost the art style of the proper art style of Betty Boop.
I mean, besides the fact that each of these characters, the neck of the guitar is the neck of the character. So you've got Betty Boop with like an 8-foot long neck or something like that in proportion to her body.
Well, and that's the problem is one is
like I could kind of buy it with Gumby and Pokey because they're psychedelic characters that stretch and reform to be whatever they need to be
Right.
within their reality. That's not Betty Boop, though. Something terrible has happened to Betty Boop. Her neck is stretched out, and she is dead now.
I did not know Johnson Guitars ever made anything like this.
Well, at some point, they probably were like First Act, where like they were a custom shop
Right.
that turned into, you know, a cheap
So I
production
think
thing.
one of the problems with the Betty Boop one is Betty Boop's most distinguishing feature is the fact that her head is
humongous.
is the largest part of her body,
Right.
like by far.
Also, like, she has very specific, like, body features that I dare say are attractive, and they completely missed that with this.
Betty Boop was a cartoon hourglass.
Yes.
She was a cartoon hourglass. This is what I would imagine maybe I would look like in a red dress.
I know that this was made in the 80s, but it honestly looks like Family Guy art.
Oh, it does.
Like, it's not at all.
It's just kind of a hard choice to go in. The Gumby and the why does Gumby have a face but Pokey does not?
That's a good question. Why didn't they give Pokey an eyeball?
I mean,
It would have been so easy.
Yeah, I mean, what? I guess.
Also, look how thick that headstock looks. Why is that headstock so thick? I've never seen a headstock that thick. Around his mouth? On Pokey's mouth? What is going on?
What video is this? Would you rock or not?
Look at the back of that.
That is massive. That's ridiculous.
They had to cut away to thin it out to fit the tuners in there.
Well,
and Gumby tunes from his butt.
Yeah, Gumby tunes from the back.
Which I guess makes sense for Gumby's head, but this is ugly stuff. Like, I don't care if it was custom made for Earl Slick or whatever. It's ugly stuff. Look at freaking Betty's face. What did they do to my girl? Her poor face. And then, like, you throw this red collar trim on there, and it makes it look like she got a weird sticky wiener sticking out. They've ruined Betty Boop. This is terrible. Sorry we had to, like, intro with so much Thanksgiving talk and then be just so bummed out by this terrible Betty Boop guitar.
You know what? Also, I realized we should have done the sponsor spot at the top.
Whoops.
Do we just want to sack this one?
No.
All right.
We'll do it at the end, man.
All right, fine. This episode is brought to you by D'Addario.
Oh, we're at the end
talking
now.
about the XT guitar string. It combines the carbon fiber steel infusion twist from the NYXL with an ultra thin coating on all of the strings. So thin that you can't actually tell there's a coating. All you know is your strings always feel freaking fantastic.
They just
in your
feel
hands.
kind of like slippery.
They're a really great string to play. I can't wait until Ryan really breaks in a Strat because I mean I think the first time and like the second and third time I've played your Strat were a few weeks apart and they still felt really good. And your Strat's just sitting. It's
not in
out
here right now. It's in the
but it
living room.
had just been sitting around.
Yeah.
So it's even like kind of resisting like the ambient ocean air that we get occasionally here.
I got 12 of these things here. I'm going to do a video where I restring as many guitars as I can in an hour because I'm going to do a live video.
I'm going to do a video where I cut all of those strings. Then Ryan will do another video.
And then we're going to see over the years how these strings age, I guess. Because once we have strings on the majority of guitars in here, it'll be like, wow, these are all aging, whatever way they're going,
Yeah.
It'll be an interesting experiment.
All right.
You have anything else you want to say about
this?
this?
Is just so...
It's depressing, right?
I mean, it's like they got all of the details.
You look at her face as the headstock, and she doesn't look like Betty Boop. She looks like Droopy Dog over here.
It does look like Droopy Dog.
I'm a sad guitar. Oh. This is depressing. I'm sad that these exist. I would for sure play the Pokey one. Okay, Steve, this is what we have to do.
Kill me.
You're almost there. Marry F kill.
Oh man, I was not thinking that. I am going to I am going to marry Pokey, F with Gumby. I gotta marry Pokey because Pokey is a base.
Yeah.
And then Betty Boop is getting the
Sorry, Betty Boop.
axe.
I'm voting the exact same way. Could you imagine boning down with Gumby? Like the character, like just all flexible and like moving around like clay. You would never forget that night. But that Pokey base, like if I'm going to have a base in my life, it's going to be that Pokey base because it works. Like you could paint it like a giraffe and it would work.
That Gumby conversation, that Gumby question is also the same question that it is nonstop on The Greatest Generation for Odo.
Oh my gosh. Everyone, he would be a big hit on Ryza. But poor Betty Boop, put her out of her misery. She wants you to put her out of her misery.
I think really what it comes down to is like, I think in order to make a guitar that would be anywhere near the Betty Boop proportion,
right?
You would.
It'd have to be a banjo.
It'd have to be like a giant guitar.
No, it'd have to be a banjo, and you flip it around, and her head is the body. Because she's got that humongous head.
I guess that could work. Yeah. I'm just saying, like, I'm just thinking giant headstock.
I think for Betty Boop, what you got to do is you got to go full body and have the guitar come off her waist or something like that. So the body of the guitar is all Betty Boop, you know?
Right. I could
like
see
that shape would kind of work. You stick a neck coming off of her or something like that. I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm looking at pictures of Betty Boop. Poor Betty Boop. What did they do to you?
Better delete your search history.
Oh man, when Google figures out I've been Googling Betty Boop, it's all over.
Yeah.
Oh man. All right, guys, tune in tomorrow. We got 5 ads this ad week. We're going to keep them going. Stay grounded.
See ya.
All right, we'll just go straight into it.